So, if you haven't heard the story about how Vivian went out one night on Sunset and she ended up changing her life in one night, she ended up meeting this guy to later find out that he's a millionaire. And the movie continues to let you guys know that your life can change in about one day. And if you haven't seen Pretty Woman, it's about how she changed from one night being a worker, even though she was still working that night with Edward. But it shows you how powerful that beauty actually is. And I started to watch this movie, and then it clicked to me of who does this woman remind me of? Who is this woman? Well, I'm going to tell you. This is Rain Said That, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So this movie is so relatable in so many ways because when you're watching Pretty Woman and you see that, she met this millionaire and he ends up changing her life overnight. And, she's been with a lot of men. Okay. She's been working those streets and corners all over Los Angeles. So that isn't the point. But the point is that she stumbled upon a millionaire. And then later on that day, I started to see the clips of Basketball Wives. And how does this movie relate to Basketball Wives? Well, a lot of women, usually when they're dealing with basketball players, football players, allegedly, they have to shop around until they actually find a millionaire that's going to keep them, correct? So the more as I was looking at Vivian and the relationship with Edward, I started to see Draya Michele. And people tend to give Draya Michele a lot of hate because they always want to shame this woman. But a lot of basketball wives and people was not as open to the things that they have done, the people they have been with, and she actually ended up getting married as well. So if you don't know who Draya Michele is, the first time I've just talked about her and seen her was on Basketball Wives, and all the women were trying to shame her because they were saying that, oh, she was talking to all kind of guys. She was allegedly, sleeping around in X, Y, and Z. And she stated on one of the clips that she wasn't doing anything that they have not done. So it was kind of sort of relatable because Pretty Woman in the pipeline to Draya is sort of the same thing, even though it is a movie. And B, they don't show us what happens after the movie. But then you have to realize that she was also still working her job, even when she was living in that hotel with Edward for those 2 weeks, even though she was getting paid, she also was doing other things as well. And they ended up falling in love. And the same thing happened to Draya, even though, she had met a lot of different guys. She actually did find love. She did get a husband and she did have a child with him. So it's safe to say that the Pretty Woman to Draya Michele pipeline is quite relatable, but people are not very open and honest, just like Draya was. And I feel like I said, people get all this hate towards Draya, which really doesn't make any sense because this woman is gorgeous. She is beautiful. And they always want to talk about how she treats the guys, how she's going through the guys, things of that nature. But no one tells you what the guys actually want with Draya. Okay. They want fame and clout off her name. She is a beautiful woman. She dresses well. They want to have her on her arm. So everyone pretty much gets mad when she gets her part of the deal because she's leaving that relationship, that marriage with something. Because as she should, because no one really talks about what are these guys' intentions when they're dealing with Draya, what it is that they want and what it is that they're looking for. They're only telling you the results of her leaving. She's taking, her part of the money, or she wants the house and stability. Because I have never once heard any man in any interview declaring they love for Draya. So that will tell you right there what it is that their value about Draya is, that she's a pretty and beautiful woman. Now, there's a lot of controversies right now involving her dating a 22-year-old NBA player, which she has now had a daughter with this person. And everyone is trying to say, oh, she's grooming him, X, Y, and Z. But honestly, I just feel as though Drea has got her groove back. Okay, if you never not seen that movie, Stella got her groove back. Stella was definitely in love with the guy that she met in Jamaica. And I feel as though she has done the same thing because all of her previous relationship has been based on her just being pretty and beautiful and what guys want from her. And I feel as though with the new guy, even though that he is younger, even though men tend to date younger all the time, but women get a lot of scrutiny when it comes to them being older and dating younger. And she is most likely probably used to all the controversy. They always want to talk about her, her mothering skills, and now it's, oh, she's dating younger. But what kind of choice does she has, especially dealing with the industry that she in and how all the guys are trying to ruin her reputation? She's going to either have to go younger or really, really older. Okay, and honestly, I feel like that for once in her life, she just wanted to be in love or have that feeling of love. I did read and see an interview of her saying that she just wants somebody that loves her. And even though that she did have to date younger to get it, I feel like people are failing to see and understand her mindset on the reason why she had to date younger in the first place. Because let's be honest, how long do you think that this is actually going to last? Even though, it's such a big age gap relationship, most of the time, it ends after a few years. So if this is the only reason that she can feel or get some type of love, why can't we just be happy for her within this moment? Even though I don't really know this woman personally, but the from the movie Pretty Woman is what I got is that, bringing and being a pretty woman can definitely take your career to new heights. It can elevate you and it can also upgrade you. So if you haven't watched Pretty Woman, and then you can go back and watch and do research on Draya Michele, you can definitely see how the story is similar and how they collide, as in, he's seen how beautiful that Vivian was, and he didn't care what she has done in the past. He knew what she was doing out there in those streets, and he did not care because he ended up falling in love with her because she was not only a pretty on the outside, she also was pretty on the inside. She was very loyal to her friends, and she was also just authentic to herself. And that's the goal the same way as Drea. You can either decide to hate her or love her, but at the end of the day, she's still a pretty and beautiful woman, and she also changed and upgraded her life. The same as Vivian. So the story shows that it doesn't matter what you was doing in your past, whatever it is to take you to where you need to go, you just never know where you will end up. And that's what I got from Pretty Woman. Because whether, you are doing whatever it is that you're doing on these streets, you're a teacher, you're a doctor, your beauty can definitely change your life. And it goes to show you that all pretty women are not just pretty on the outside, they're also pretty on the inside. So, have you guys seen this movie? What do you guys think of it? Is it one of your favorites? Is it definitely a classic? Comment down below. And also, you can, check out Drea if you don't know anything about her. Comment down below, guys, what you think about the pipeline.